Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and it is day 14 of my Thankfully Inspired series. And today I am going to talk about the lovely Jacqie Crafty. And I couldn't pick between her layouts. I went with three different ones. I lean heavily on one and kind of pull different things from the other two. But I am going to use this Mother's Day collection from Simple Stories because I'm going to document these two pictures of my grandson with my daughter, so his mama. And I felt like this would be an appropriate collection. So I do pull in some other things. I only have the 12 by 12 sticker sheet as embellishments, but I pull in some seriously old and some not as old stash that I found in my stuff. Yeah, there we go, Butterfingers. I got a couple of inks I'm going to use. I do bring in a third one. So I have my papers, I have my embellishments, I have my inks and my pictures and these awesome layouts by Jacqie. So let's see how this goes. So the first layout I found of hers that really pulled me was the one with the weaving, but I love the mixed media on this and how it kind of takes over the majority of the background. She doodled around the outside, I think, and I think I meant to do that, but I end up matting mine on a black cardstock instead. I could have still done the doodling, but I've done a lot of that this month, I think, and I felt like it wasn't necessary with the solid black cardstock. So I start off with picked raspberry, and then I add in some abandoned coral because my daughter's shirt is like a coral color, and the pinks, I was kind of leaning towards the pinks, but I felt like it needed a little tame down. So I put some spun sugar on there. It doesn't tame it too much. I know I could put some like white on there and brought it down a little, but I'm going to cover a lot of that. So the next step is to pull from this fabulous layout. This is the first one I found of hers. I was stuck. This is the one I was going to do when my original plan was to just scrap lift. And so when I moved to find other ones to do the inspirations, I had to keep this one because I love the way she did the two little weaving bits. And then she's got her picture on top of the one up at the top corner, but I am going to pull from another layout to do my pictures. But I loved how she had, like, it's kind of wonky, doesn't have to be straight. I used papers from this collection and black so that it would, first of all, bring the black from the background in and not be too overwhelming because I've already got all this color on my paper, and then I'm bringing in all these layers and then the strips for the weaving. So I decided I would do the vertical weaving with black. I was going to alternate and do the opposite on the bottom one, but the hearts are going in one direction and I really didn't feel like having them sideways, even though you can kind of really not tell. But it's fine. So I get that weave pattern done. I'm going to put the bigger one at the top like she has it and the smaller one in the bottom. I'm going to build a cluster in the bottom like she has in this layout. And then I'm going to pull my third layout of hers, and she's got like multiple layers. Now I don't have a lot with this collection. It only comes with so many pieces of paper, like 8 papers and then the sticker sheet because it's one of those smaller sets. So I didn't want to waste a bunch of the papers, and so I used the little bits that I have left, and then I'm going to mat the whole thing on a piece of that pink polka dotted paper. Now, other than that, I'm just going to build clusters in different places, kind of similar to where Jacqie has hers, but mostly down in the bottom corner, and then kind of filling some of that big gap of hot pink on the top of the two pictures. I don't know if you all already follow Jacqie Crafty. I adore her. She is one of the first people that I started following on Facebook. She used to do a series where she would give you an item or a color or a something, and then every day, every other day or every day or something, she'd give you a new thing to add to your layout. And it was a whole lot of fun because you had to try and figure out how to add certain things. And sometimes it was complicated and sometimes it was easy. And sometimes, not gonna lie, I would wait until she gave all of them and I would do them that way. But it was always a lot of fun. And getting to know her through that series and following her on Facebook and watching her lives on Facebook, I started to realize that she and I are a lot alike with our scrapbooking. And then there were a lot of things outside of there, like I think it had to do with like where we worked or our kids or, different things like that. It was like we were twins. And so we used to always talk about how we were scrappy twins. But she was always very encouraging and very fun to hang out with virtually, obviously. And I always enjoyed watching her lives and how she would pull all the different elements that she was going to add into her layout. She was always super creative and would think of things to add or put on a layout that I hadn't thought about. And so I always was inspired by all the fun things that she would encourage us to do. And, just thinking outside the box is always fun. So if you are not already following her, you should definitely check her out on YouTube. I will have any of the information that I have linked below. And like I said, she was always like my scrappy twin. And I always enjoyed hanging out and watching her lives and commenting and just having a good time with that. I have this little piece of acetate. These stickers, other than the ones that came with the collection, are in the butterflies, the brown butterflies. All of these were in my baby stash for a very long time. Those little bows are from when my daughter was a little girl, and she's 23. She's the mother in this picture. And so most of the rest of it is from when my son was little and he's 16. So a lot of these embellishments are very old. The I love you till the day after forever, that is from something that I bought when my son was born in 2009. So yeah, these are significantly old. The little word diaper and the little word tickle that are in that same yellow, which is super exciting that it matches, came from a collection or a sticker sheet, like chipboard sticker sheet I've had for so long. They are not sticky at all. And I was like, when am I ever going to use the word diaper or tickle? Like, that seems so strange. But that's exactly what she's doing in these pictures, so... here is the close-up of Jacqie Crafty, which is Jacqie, and the layouts. I pulled the mixed media, I pulled the woven little part, and then all these layers of pictures, and then this little embellishment cluster down here. I am so grateful for Jacqie. She is super fun, and she's always been so kind to me and so helpful and encouraging. So Jacqie, I appreciate you, and I think that we are probably still scrappy twins, even though we don't scrap as much together like we used to, virtually. And I thank you so much for inspiring all of us, for encouraging us to try new things, and for being adventurous. So I hope you all will go check out Jacqie Crafty. And I would love it if you all give me a thumbs up if you like my video and or my layout. I hope you all are enjoying this series. I am having a lot of fun finding the ways to mix and match and collaborate these different layouts from some of my very favorite people, and talking about how wonderful they are and how grateful I am for them, because I think that we need more of that in this world, and the scrapbooking community is one of kindness typically and full of heart, and so I think it's a good combination. I hope you all have a great day. I hope you get a chance today to do something you love with someone you love, and happy scrapping.